Ladies and gentlemen, Cover Killer Nation, what does ILLUD Divinum Insanus mean to you? Whenever you hear those three words together, how does it speak? How does it go into your ears? How do you take it? The way you should take it is this. This is the 8-year return of Morbid Angel. This is their 2011 album. This is the album review for it. I am Cover Killer Nation. You are the nation. I am the Cover Killer. It's time for us to speak about this record. Now, this has been 8 years coming. 8 years since Heretic, since 2003. And of course, a lot of things have changed in 8 years. But we're not going to go through that. We're not going to go through presidents. We're not going to go through wars. We're not going to go with who we may or may not have captured, who we killed, who did this, what crime was committed, what you did, how many times I ruined shirts with wine. No, we're not going to do that. Instead, we're going to talk about this record. This record was long awaited. It was highly anticipated. It was heralded from the heavens over 4 years ago. 2008. Actually, that's like 3 years, but fuck it. 2007, 2008 was whenever we first got our first glimmer or hint that the new Morbid Angel record was in the works. And then it took 4 years to get here. So, you know, shit happens. Something that's, well, kind of forgivable, but this record is not forgivable. Somewhere throughout this 8-year period, Morbid Angel thought to themselves, you know, death metal's nice. I like death metal a lot. It's brought us a lot of success. It's brought us fame, fortune, and bitches. But I kind of want to try dark wave. I kind of want to try industrial. I kind of want to do some of this other shit that some of these bands like Christ are doing, because it seems like it's working out pretty good for them. And hey, I can appreciate a band that's willing to experiment. I can appreciate a band that's willing to tweak the sound a little bit. I can appreciate a band that wants to sample other styles to see if it works for them. But sampling for this particular band, for Morbid Angel, for one of the most legendary death metal acts of all time, is where this experiment should have ceased. Nothing should have made it to the record, but unfortunately, it seems as though 80% of this record is bona fide experimental crap. And typically I like experimental. You guys know that. You guys know that I'm willing to check out something that's experimental and review it for you guys. I might not always have the best of opinions for it, but I at least try it. This is a band that tried it and loved it so much that they released nearly a whole CD based around it. Yeah, there's some death metal in here, don't get me wrong. There is some little, tiny, nugget glimmers of the old style, but they're so few and far between that it's almost indiscernible to the human ear. You're starting to think to yourself halfway through this record, did I really pick up a Morbid Angel record? Is this really Morbid Angel, or did I accidentally pick up a record by a really shitty industrial band? Did I accidentally pick up, I don't know, the latest Christ, or 69 Eyes, or 49 Teeth Offering, whatever the fuck. Who cares? Some of these bands I can tolerate in smaller doses. However, to listen to a fuller record is just to drive me batshit crazy, because this is not good. This is not good. Even the song titles are ridiculous. 10 More Dead, I can understand. Radical, the fuck is that? And something I would almost expect from a band like Cavalier Conspiracy or Sepultura. And I just bastardized that name because I'm so fucking hyped up because of this release. But no, it's Morbid Angel. And they kind of rap in it. Kind of, sort of. They're making little taglines now. They're making little tag verses now. What the fuck is going on? What the fuck is going on? We are morbid? We are morbid? What is this? What is going on? It's gone simplistic. I understand that death metal is not necessarily the most, you know, incredible genre out there whenever it comes to creativity. But let me tell you something. Compared to the typical death metal that we're used to, compared to what we know, what we love, what we've accepted for now 2 decades, this is overly simplistic. This is like the Limp Bizkit of death metal, if that's even possible. I thought Emmure was bad, but this is, well, okay, Emmure still sucks worse, but that's just me. This is simplistic. This is something where, yes, it is experimental, but it definitely has that sound of experimentation. You immediately know that you're listening to something that's so radically different that it just sort of bugs you throughout the whole entire experience. It's very difficult on this particular record to form any sort of acceptance toward this particular concept, this particular experiment that Morbid Angel decided to undertake in. And after it being 8 long years since the last studio record, you would think that they would want to deliver something that was a little bit closer to their trademark sound. Especially whenever you consider that the opinions on Heretic were varied, even if it meant sliding a little bit more towards the negative opinion. So already Morbid Angel kind of had left on this note that some people figured was not that great. But now they're returning on a note that's even worse. How the hell is this possible? What happened to Morbid Angel? Now for one, different drummer. But that don't mean shit. By the way, Pete, get well soon. But what the hell happened to your band? What the hell happened to this? I understand experimentation, as I keep saying. I understand trying something new. But this is a little bit over the top. A little bit crazy. Now for the parts on this album that are actually somewhat resemblant of death metal, it isn't bad. Don't get me wrong. This isn't something that's an all-out shitfest from front to back. However, more often than not, you're kind of caught, you're trapped in this motif where you just know that something that is very unappealing is coming next. You don't go into the next track thinking it might get better. You actually fear going into the next track, and it was anticipated to be worse. This is something where it's almost like a deranged experiment gone bad. And you know, I didn't want to say this, but I'm going to have to say this. I really don't want to say this. This is death metal's Saint Anger. I said it. This album by Morbid Angel, to be released on June the 6th, just less than a week from now, is death metal's Saint Anger. I would much rather you guys take this video to 1 million hits than have this sell 1 million copies. Because this is not worthy of 1 million copies. Covenant, the best-selling death metal record of all time, so cites Wikipedia, over 127,000 units sold. It hasn't even hit 1 million hits. Why should this? It shouldn't. This video should hit 1 million hits, but I'm biased. They probably think it should hit 1 million units, but they're biased too. This is death metal's Saint Anger. This is what happens whenever you take one style and you try to fuse it in with something else. With Saint Anger, they took the thrash style, they had decayed it into that sort of bluesy rock style, and then all of a sudden they just came up with something that was a hybrid of both that sucked so much balls that Lars Ulrich should be exiled to another fucking planet. I'm not going to say that Morbid Angel should be exiled to another planet just yet. No. Because Morbid Angel hasn't pissed me off enough. This is almost like their Saint Anger, everybody gets one, as I kind of cited with The Haunting. But in reality, I mean, so many people really disliked and had distaste for the Heretic that maybe this is more than just one. I don't know. Really depends on your personal tastes. Really depends on your personal philosophy. Bottom line is this. This is a combination of styles, and there's even a remix available of one of the songs, Destructor, I think, versus The World, something like that. Who cares at this particular point? This album's that bad. That was redone by Comba Christ. So if you didn't think that they were considering this direction, if it wasn't already apparent in your mind, if it wasn't something that already had cracked its way right into your ear, got right into your brain, and harvested itself, reproduced, and caused a little colony right inside your brain, now you know. Now it's like, well, if you didn't know, now you do. The fuck? This album is terrible. This was a 56-minute hell ride. And I don't mean the right type of hell ride. I don't mean the type of hell ride that Morbid Angel wanted, where it was something that was so brutal and so crushing that you just felt like you had taken a nice little side journey right down to the hot place, Satan himself impaling you with a trident right in your ass, and then you come out and you're changed. No, this was the opposite of hell. This is what they teach you the hell is about whenever you go to Catholic school or something like that. This is what they teach you about. That you sit in a room and your worst fear is realized for all eternity. My hell would be listening to this record in Saint Anger, back to back, on repeat, for eternity. In reality, I feel like I'm going to metal hell for saying this. I really do. I feel like if there's a metal hell, I'm going there because I have to say this. I have to do it. This is the second time where I have had to utter those words. I have to say this multiple times, so you know it's bad. But here it is. Here it is. I'm going to spell it out to you in black and white. Plain and simple. Do not buy this record. No Cover Killer Nation saying blah blah blah. No. This is just me, honest as I can. I'm on my knees. Don't buy this record.